Hello. Alright, here we go. Here's a study guide. We're naming a radius. Radius would be PB. Be PM. Naming a chord. There's only one chord. MB. Oh yeah, sorry, two chords. Also, and whatever, it's the diameter, but MB is the only one they're looking for. Naming a tangent. QA is tangent to the circle. MB is not tangent to the circle. The radius of a circle is 9 feet. Find the circumference. Circumference equals 2 pi r. And so that would be 2 times pi times 9. .54. Oh, so the nearest hundredth. 56.55. Feet. FD is 105. Find BCF. BCF is a central angle. This is a diameter. So this is 180 degrees. 180 minus 105 is 75. This is a central angle, so we don't divide by 2. It is simply 75 degrees. Find the length of AC in circle B to the nearest hundredth. So you find the circumference, multiply it by 75 over 360. Circumference is 2 pi r. 25.13. You're going to multiply that by 75 out of 360. 5.24. If MQ is 10 centimeters, PA equals 6 centimeters, and AY is 6 centimeters. What is XY? We know because this is 10, this is 10, and if the whole thing is 10, the short part is 5. Find the radius of a circle. If a 26 meter chord is 4 meters from the center, draw a picture. Well, we'll do so. There's a circle, there's a chord, there's the center. Said that this was 4 meters, and the chord was 26. That means we want to look for the radius, which we could draw anywhere. But we're actually going to draw it here, so we make a right triangle. That's our R. This is 26 all the way across. This is 13. 4 squared plus 13 squared equals R squared. So 4 squared plus 13 squared. Well, that's R squared. That means that R is 13.601. Find the measure of MPQ. This is 75, this is 140, the rest would make 360. So 360 minus 140 minus 75. The 145 is this part. Then MPQ is going to be half that. 72.5. Measure of angle D is 104. Find the measure of angle B. We know that opposite angles in an inscribed quadrilateral add to 180. So we just subtract from 180. 76. If measure of A equals 85, find the measure of C. Use the circle number 10. It's the same one. So if this is 85, what would this be? Well, plus 85 equals 180. 95 degrees. Find M, the interior angle, so we take the average. 115 plus 72. Remember to hit enter, not to divide by 2 until after you find the sum, 93.5. That's when we're going to write it out. This would be the average of these two. So 45 plus y divided by 2 equals 53. Multiply both sides by 2 to cancel that. You get 45 plus y equals 53 times 2, or 106. Subtract 45 from both sides. Means that y equals 61. Find the exterior angle, so that means we subtracted the smaller one from the larger. 110 minus x divided by 2 equals 35. Multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the denominator. 110 minus x equals 70. 110 minus what equals 70? Add x and subtract. That is just 40. Find x. There it is. Find x. Exterior angle. Subtract, divide by 2. 95 minus 22, divide by 2. Oops. 95 minus 22, divide by 2. 36.5. P. These two multiplied equal these two multiplied. So 8 times 7, 5 times p. 50 equals 5p. That means that p equals 11.2. I think that's right. 11.2. Write the equation of a circle whose center is at negative 4, 7, and whose radius is 8. So it's x minus 4, y minus 7. Square them up, equal to radius is 8. That's going to be that square. So that'll be x plus 4 plus y minus 7 squared equals 64. Find the equation of a circle whose center at the origin and whose radius is 6. That's x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared with radius squared. 6 squared is 36. Identify the graph of x. Let's just graph that. X was x minus negative 3. So we're over at negative 3. And then y minus 2 would be plus 2. So negative 3, 2 would be over and up. Negative 3, 2. Our radius squared is 4. So that means our radius equals 2. That means we're going to look like that. What is the segment congruent to DM? Here's DM. This is a chord at a certain length, so that means that MC and DM are the same. What is the midpoint of DC? Well, by the same token as M. DC is split in half when this is perpendicular. An arc congruent to DB. There's that one there. If these are split in half, then these are split in half. That would be BC. An arc congruent to CF. Well, this and this made 180, then this and this made. If this and this make 180, then this and this make 180. So all of this will be congruent to FC, this is AF. Using this great big thing. So N, QR is tangent. QR is tangent. QM and QP are secants. find QN. So it's this here. All this is QN. That's 15. And then another amount, but that's just the radius right there. So this is also 9. So 15 plus 9 is 24. QR. Well, if we know this is 9, we know this was 24. This is the hypotenuse of this triangle. So QR we'll call x. We have x squared plus 9 squared equals 24 squared. X squared plus 81 equals 576. 576, subtract 81 from both sides. X squared equals 495. Take the square root. 22.25. Find the measure of MQP. MQP. So this is just like this. Coming out and going back in. This comes out and goes back in. That means big one minus the little one divided by 2, because it's outside. Big one minus little one. 75 minus 30 divided by 2. 22.5. WP. The length of WP. This is 100 here. This is 9 and 9. You could use the law of cosine, but I'm not sure how to do this, or law of sines. But I'm not sure how to do this particular part without using that. My class didn't learn that one, so we'll skip. Fine. The diameter of a circle is 16.5. Find the radius. Radius is half the diameter. If PQR is such that measure of angle Q is 90 and the sine of P is 3/7, what is the value of cosine P? Alright, so measure of, alright, so we got a triangle and Q is 90. So we got to draw a right triangle with Q down here. And the sine of P, so PQR, I don't know, so that's P and that's R, doesn't really matter, I suppose. Sine of P is opposite over hypotenuse, so that's 3/7. P opposite hypotenuse. Walk out of the door, hit the side. So we want to find the value of cosine of P, so it'll be that one over this one. So I'm not sure what that length is, but we can quickly find out. B squared plus 3 squared equals 7 squared. And that means that B squared plus 9 equals 49. B squared equals 40. So B equals square root of 40. 6.32. That means the cosine would be adjacent over hypotenuse, be 6.32 over 7. What is the slope of any line parallel to x equals 6? Well, that's a vertical line. Vertical lines have undefined slope. Fill in the blank with an expression using x to make a true statement. One of the angles formed by two parallel lines and a transversal has a measure of x, then the measure of the other angles must be two parallel lines there, and then this is x. All these are x's, and all the other ones are 180 minus x. So x or 180 minus x, supplementary. Also, these trapezoids, we're running out of time. We've got to stop it.